Hello, everybody. This is TechStack here.
Hey, everybody.
There we go. We got it down, fired. Oh, I am on the server just to see what was up, and actually, I want to look over Nico's place. Did he make the portal and go in?
I don't know. I hope not.
I hope not too, because we won't get crystals.
Right. I'm saying. I mean, I thought we really stressed to him not to go in the portal. I mean,
I don't see a portal, at least not on the surface. I mean, do you have some of the nether stars? Because he couldn't go there if we did.
no, I threw them all to him.
Okay.
So he had the ability.
My portal doesn't make any sound, so there ain't no way I'm gonna hear it. Like another portal you can hear from like eternity away. That was an expert landing right there. Okay, so let's look at I don't know, something in the code. I need to code something to get back into the groove of it. Not coding all day yesterday kind of took my mind away from it.
Right.
I know you're saying the furnace, but I don't know. I'm not sure how to start on that one either, so give me a second here. Let me collect my thoughts about what needs to be done to do this and see if there's anything else on the list that I can bump up to the top and make it go, oh yeah, that's how I do it.
First and foremost, block GUI with 6 inputs and 6 outputs. Or, not 6, but 3 inputs and 3 outputs. Because you'd want the ability for you to be able to smelt like 3 different types of material at the same time. Right?
Okay, to do what? Is it mixing the materials? Is that what you're saying? Like a Tinker's smeltery kind of thing?
No. No, I mean 3. Each input will go into... Yeah, just faster.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say put, like I said, 3 spots where it cooks, and then 3 spots where it collects in the GUI, and then speed it up like a little faster than the vanilla furnace.
So this is what we had originally. I think we had 3 slots. I'm assuming that's like the fuel slot and then the output slot. So you're saying you want 3 output slots as well?
Yeah.
I guess it kind of makes sense. You can put different things in.
Right, so you could do like gold, iron, and steel all at the same time.
Okay. What was with the buttons that we put on this? I forget. That's awful of me. Oh, the output direction is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we put the output at the bottom, though? That's how all furnaces work. Do you know?
Yeah.
Right. To have flaming window output on the sides based on the button of the GUI indicating the direction. Or southeast west as an example. Makes steel faster. Multi-cooking slots, only 3 slots. T2 ores must use this, and that makes sense. The T2 ores use it. Like I can get my own smelting recipes. Lots of things to consider with this, then.
Like what?
Well, sounds like I need 7 inventory slots. 3 for the input at the top, 3 for the output at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that's right, and 1 for the fuel.
1 for the fuel.
Yeah, originally we were gonna go with 3 inputs, 1 output, but
right.
I think it would work better with 3 outputs. That way, like I said, you can do multiple stuff.
Right, because if someone put in, I don't know, iron, gold, and widgets, they can all cook at the same time and output at the same time. Because once the first one's out, Let's say it was iron finished first. The gold has no place to go, so it can't finish. Making this do 3 at a time is going to be complicated. Because what happens if slot, like the output slots, one is open, but 2 and 3 have items in them that are different than the second and third input slots. Does it smelt the first item and just not the other two? And then what happens if the player takes it out? Does it just then start smelting those other 2 items? Does it automatically finish it because they've already should have been finished? Does it only output it when they when the first slot would be done normally too? Or what happens if they don't have the items in the second and third slots and only in the first, or second slot only and not the first and the third?
Could you make it just spit it out the side?
I could make it spit outside, yeah.
I'm saying that would alleviate like 3 whole slots.
True.
Because then you wouldn't need an output slot. It would just be spat out.
Spat out or going into a chest, like always.
Right.
Like the green does.
Well, I just kind of figured onto an assembly line, but or conveyor belt.
What if I did this, Fiery? You're gonna like this one. What if the amount of time it normally takes for a furnace to cook one, it cooks an entire stack?
Oh, Jesus. That would be cool.
Because I get why vanilla does it, but at the same time I don't, because if you were to throw 64 units of raw iron into something to smelt it down, it's all going to be done at the same time. It's not going to be, oh, here's one ingot first, right? It's all melted at the same time.
Well, you would officially have the most OP furnace on the block.
Now that's not to say that like that isn't one whole blaze powder or some, or blaze rod or whatever we're going to do,
right,
per stack, or maybe it's 2 or 3. But at that speed, would you then need the extra slots? Because then that might solve the problem of what I just described, you know, which slot's done, blah, 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 blah. Unless you want 3 fuel slots and each one burns at their own pace.
No. Make them have to burn everything in triplicate? God.
Well, no, I mean, like, if you put an input item into the first slot, you put fuel into the first slot, and it outputs into the first slot. And that fuel in the first slot doesn't fuel the second or third input slots. So it's basically like 3 furnaces on one GUI. And each one has its own burn time and all that stuff. I don't like that as well. I guess, is there any other reason other than you just wanted it to be faster to have 3 inputs? Yes, no, maybe? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Are you still there? Yes, I can. Maybe not.
Can you hear me there?
I can hear you asking me if I can hear you, but I can't hear you saying anything else. Now I hear dogs. Who let the dogs out?
Yeah. Puppies are being a little rambunctious outside the door.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dog.
It's okay. We have puppies too. She gets rambunctious. So what were you trying to say, Fiery? Because I couldn't hear it other than, are you hearing me? Well, maybe talking to Fiery's not going to work tonight, stream. Going once. Oh, he's giggling.
Let's see if this works now.
Now say it again before it cuts out again. Say it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Do you work for Verizon? Can you hear me now? I can't hear you say anything else other than that part.
Well, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, I was just gonna ask you if you're trolling me. Great.
No, it's my internet.
Oh.
My internet's screwing up tonight.
So the question was, is there a reason other than making it faster that you want 3 slots? Will 1 slot, if it's a turbo slot, be good?
It could work that way, I suppose.
You don't sound happy about it, though.
Well, if it's going to smelt a whole stack at a time, then my reasoning is really nullified anyway, because
What was your reason? That's what you have to get to.
So that you could do more than one type of ore at a time.
Okay.
But if you're smelting a whole stack at a time anyway, then it's going to burn through all that ore faster than we can put it in anyway.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing. Like, it doesn't have to, burn time wise, it doesn't have to be the normal burn time. We could make it take twice as long as a normal single item in a furnace, or 4 times as long. It's just when it does complete, it's the entire stack. When you think about it, that's kind of how the smeltery works, right? You put multiple items into it, but they're all done. If you put them in at the same time, they're all done at the same time.
Right.
And they're ready to be poured into ingots. Yes, I get the pouring mechanic actually makes it a little slower, but you can pour a whole block, right? I mean, that's what I usually do. I pour a whole block and then I convert them back into ingots. So I'm leaning towards that because that simplifies the coding of it. Still gets across that this thing's faster and probably is even way faster, right? And if you still need 3 of them, like three things cooking at the same time, make 3 of them.
Right.
So maybe I need to work out how to do multi-block and have the multi-block forward all the messages to the master block or whatever in the configuration.
I was just going to ask, are we going to still keep it multi-block?
You wanted it multi-block. I've never done multi-block. I have a basic understanding of how multi-block should work. I might be able to do it, but if we don't do multi-block, it's much faster for me. I can tell you that.
You can do single block if you want.
Is this just the disappoints Fire stream?
Well, you know, it was the hype stream on Friday and Saturday, so, you know, it had to come.
Friday and Saturday was the hype stream. I forget what we did Friday and Saturday now.
Friday and Saturday was the day that you put the villager building in, and the villager, I believe.
Okay, let me do this. I will focus on it having a single block to get the functionality there. And that functionality, because it's the main part of it's going to be coding the GUI and all that stuff. Then that stuff can make it so that, like, that's needed no matter what. It's not going to change much if I make it multi-block, is what I'm trying to say. Right. So let me start with single block, and we might go to multi-block. Especially if I'm still stuck on power. So let me organize my screen here. Okay. Also, let me commit this. Okay.
Right, Enderman hasn't shown up.
Or Eagle.
I hope he knows.
Oh yeah, true. What is it that I was gonna do first? I need a block, I need a tile entity. What should we name this thing?
Turbo furnace would probably work.
Block machine, turbo, furnace. If you are in a... Spell that wrong? I am. And it's... Yeah, sure. No, wait. Gmod. Turbo furnace. See, in this case, it won't need to be directional. What? What? No. Redo. Hey, Hunter. Hunter. Your email was kind of hard to describe back in an email, like the answer to your questions. So let me see what I can do here. This is going to derail the work on the block for a minute, Fiery. Sorry.
No! Dang it!
It's like that carrot in front of the pig.
Just more disappointment!
It's just for a minute. So, the reason it's going to be a... it might be a core mod. And again, I don't know if there's some method that'll let you do this. But in the player class, it checks if the elytra is flying. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So if we look at that particular method, it's probably on the entity. So it's entity living and probably entity.
What you looking at anyway?
So he's asking some questions about how to make something work in a mod that he wants to do, like flying. And he wants to create a jetpack, basically. So this elytra flying is based on this get flag 7 thing. I guess you might be able to do that. That might be the only thing you can think of. I could think of. Because it's basically, if you're elytra flying, then that's how your movement is controlled, by looking around with your mouse and all that stuff. There's no other way to get you to fly because it's on the entity itself, not on the item, right? So it's not on my jetpack that makes you fly. It's not really on the wings, because the wings set this variable, this get flag 7, or I guess not get flag, but the flag 7. So the data manager for this guy, it sets it to sits number 7 on, and that's what means that elytra is flying. You're gonna have to do something about that, basically. It might be doable. But that's the reason why my jetpack builds on the elytra's wings. I didn't want to make it so you can fly. I didn't want to have to code all the flying movement again, basically, right? So if I look at living base, this is elytra flying. It's going to be used somewhere in here. So yeah, if this is elytra flying on the travel method, it changes their motion, changes their fall distance. I mean, it does all of this code between that bracket there and down here. So you would have to figure out some way to do that if you don't want to use the exact same movement mechanics as the elytra itself. So if you wanted him to fly vertically, like creative mode, that's a different thing altogether, right? Or if you wanted him to fly upside down, different thing altogether. Or let's say you wanted him to be able to like hover midair laying down, different altogether, right? The only thing you can do is exactly what the elytra is. Again, unless they have some method that you can override in an event somewhere that I don't know about. And it's possible I don't know about it. Like, I haven't gone through everything in the events. a core mod takes the code in vanilla, the actual code for something that is in vanilla, and rewrites it. It rips the guts out of that and puts its own code in there. That's why I don't like core mods, because if I'm a mod developer and someone else wrote a core mod that changes how it works, my mod gets impacted by that. Because if I'm calling those vanilla methods, they're not going to work the way I expect them. Now, the other thing is, being a core mod, you're overwriting vanilla's code. You're ripping it out and replacing it with your own. And each version change of Minecraft breaks your core mod. Like, even a little version change will break your core mod. You will have to rewrite it to consider all the changes they made and put them back in. Yeah, I don't know about that mod. Sorry. I don't know what it does. A core mod is not writing your own code on a new object in the game. So like my villager, it's a new villager in the game, so I can write whatever code I want on it. But what you're talking about doing is changing how a player moves. A player is part of vanilla already. So unless they have an event that gets triggered that you could say, oh, don't do the normal stuff, do my stuff instead, because that's the other way that they do it, is events. Then you have to write a core mod which rips out the guts of Minecraft and puts it back in with what you want. And that's kind of like a rough explanation of it, but that's kind of how it works. So to describe events a little better, Forge, when they take the vanilla Minecraft code, they insert lines in the code for their own things. Like during world generation, it'll say it'll trigger an event that you can register to say, I want to run code when someone's trying to generate an ore in the world. You get that event, or better yet, an event when someone tries to break a block in the world, right? That event you register, you get a your code then runs when someone tries to break a block, and you have the option of saying cancel this event, meaning vanilla should not even do what it's supposed to do because I've said this player has this area protected, nobody's allowed to break blocks here, right? That's how block protection works in vanilla Minecraft. Forge has inserted a line that says someone's trying to break a block, anybody that wants to know about when they break a block, go run your code now. My event fires. I can say, oh, no, this person's not allowed to break anything here. Cancel this event. And then Forge intercepts what normally would be in the vanilla code and says, no, don't do this after all. Don't break this block. So that's what I'm saying. An event for player movement might exist. I don't know. If it does, that might be your other option, where you can say, oh, don't move left, move right instead when the player's pushing this button, that kind of thing. So, back to the block. So that's the battery bank where you chose, right? I think so. You know, let's close everything. Let's sure save this. What did we change? Nothing good. And it is battery bank. Let's come down here, machine mod. TURBO furnace. I think I get it. I just tried setting up files and proxies this morning, got mad and decided to take a break before my computer went out the window. That's always good. That's the kind of stuff that, like, get your foundation good on that, and it'll help you down the road. Like, make sure you understand that stuff.
I'll be right back, Tech. I gotta go eat dinner.
Okay. So, Hunter, have you in the past learned Lava or Java? Not Lava, Java. Or did you know it already or something? Or because I mean it, like knowing that is important. If you don't understand what Java does, it's going to be a little harder for you, or a lot harder for you. Mod for what I want plus more is 1710. And I'll be able to use your mod too. Oh, okay. Do you know the basic programming concepts as far as what an if statement is, what a loop is, things like that? Like, have you done any programming before at all? Really the question, I guess. No? Okay. At least look at that kind of stuff. It's against my better judgment to say that, but yeah, but like you can learn stuff from videos. That's how I learn stuff. I prefer learning stuff from videos most often. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, so I kind of need a block for this, but I kind of don't too, because,
Okay, false alarm. I'm back for a little bit.
False alarm for food? Isn't that...
They forgot my sub at the sub shop.
Oh my gosh, isn't that punishable by, like, jail time?
Yeah.
For getting food? Jeez.
I told them all they got 5 minutes, and I'm taking a bite out of all of their sandwiches. It's the penalty they pay for telling a fat kid there's food and then lying.
Come on, Photoshop. Jeez. It's like the other day, I forget where it was we went. I don't know, maybe Wendy's or something like that, you know. And we order everybody's food, we come back, sit down and go to eat it. Oh no, I know what, it was Taco Bell. And I got a couple like Mexi melts, right? I'm a big boy, I eat more than one. We get back, guess how many Mexi melts there were? Frickin' one! So I was hungry that night. It's annoying. Not mentioning names in the stream, but I think I watched a video that the person makes so many mistakes in the video that I get lost. But it's the only one I found that works at 112. There is one series I've seen on 112. There's also a lot of text tutorials online that you can find. MCJTY has a text tutorial or a wiki with several subjects on it. I'm not gonna say it's gonna have exactly what you want. But I've looked through his stuff, read through his stuff when I came to, you know, generating a dimension and stuff. It helped. I can't do anything in Photoshop. It's just like locked up. Come on. There we go. Beat it with a stick. That worked. Come on. Wow, what? Pencil's supposed to be like fully 10% opacity. Yes, I know this isn't what we set out to do, but it's what I want to do. So I think it's needed. Is 10.7, 10 much different than 10? It really depends on what it is you're trying to accomplish. Like if you're trying to set up a mod, the basics of setting up a mod is very similar between the two. So I wouldn't say it's too different in that regard. That really changes the clip though, doesn't it? But if you're trying to, I don't know, generate the world or register a block, those things are very different. Because they changed how, like Forge changed how they register blocks, how they register items, things like that. Rendering is different. Yeah, there's some big differences basically. There's just not enough room for this thing. So let's do this and be smart. Derp. Black. You. And then black you and you. Ta-da. And let's erase this one. Save. UV, textures, items. Maybe one day I grow up, hopefully get rich. Get everything I want. I suppose that's an option. But do you really want to wait that long? Okay, so we need some funky texture for this furnace. That's what I set out to do in Photoshop here. So turbo, turbo, furnace. Let's make it steel like. Because everything I mod is made of steel. And true. That's how what is it? Dan 200. He does computer craft, but he only updates it when someone pays him to do the update. Yeah. At least that's what the impression I get from Twitter. Or recently. Let's see, let's make a big window-ish thing. That one, two. No, too far. What's the ham? Go ahead.
For your initial work on the assembly table.
You can whack the assembly table with it.
And then the furnace he's doing is going to be a furnace that is capable of smelting a stack of material at a time. Yeah. Yeah, and with his mod, it's almost kind of necessary too.
Yeah. Like it sounds OP to me, but I think it kind of needs to be that OP.
Yeah, I think it does. It's made for doing tier 2 materials anyway, so it's going to be that OP.
Right.
No, it's not a tripler, it's just... it speeds up the process.
Right, so what Fire is saying is instead of a normal furnace you put a stack in and it smelts one at a time over to be an ingot, this one, once it completes an entire burn cycle, will move the entire stack to the output slot. The burn cycle might be longer, but when it's done, you've got a stack of iron ready to go.
Right.
I just don't like this texture at all right now.
Yeah, that almost looks like a own furnace of some type, and that's not what it was supposed to be.
What's that? It looks like a what?
A stone furnace of some type.
Right.
Yeah, but we don't like temporary textures.
It's a temperature. It's true. It's true. It does look stonish. Let's see if we can fix this real quick. I am snow blocks. Steel. So I need to get the base layer down right. Bloody keyboard. You might want to clean that off, man.
Right? Who were you beating to death with your keyboard? Night Hunter.
Night Hunter. Stop it, Windows. I didn't mean to hit you. Okay, there's the basic steel color. Do this, and we're gonna down below. Down there. Stop there. Stop there. It's easy to get flustered like that, definitely.
Yeah, it's only happened to Tech about 180 times.
Right, there's a reason I've been working on it for this long. You know what? It might be easier for me to just take that other texture from the other one and just paint this on top of it. The furnace part.
I was almost gonna say that, but I didn't want you to call me Captain Obvious.
Thanks, Captain Obvious. You let me work on it this long without saying that. Oh, come on. Tolerance 1. There. No. Undo.
Yeah, Wolf, you just gotta take it a little at a time, man. Just don't let it, get to you. If you feel like you're getting flustered, just walk away, go play a couple of games or something.
Yep. It helps. Okay, I'll do it by hand.
And if you can't come up with a solution. Some of the best solutions that techs come up with were just thinking outside the box.
Right, right. So the best thing that happens to me when I walk away from a problem is when I come back to it. I don't keep attacking the problem from the same direction. I say, okay, this didn't work. I couldn't figure it out from here, so let me come from this way. And that usually works then. It may not work the first other way. It might take 2 or 3 tries at it. That's usually how it works. Like you'll come up with a way of attacking a problem that's right. When you step away and stop trying to redo the thing that's not working. At least for me. Oh, something's not fully filled in the right color. It's transparent. That's gonna bother me because it's not gonna like this, what I'm about to do. Yep. Dang it. This and color that. Really? I can't color you? What?
Okay.
Why can't I select that either? It's not picking up the color. Photoshop might get restarted after this. Just saying, it's kind of acting funky. Select that layer. There we go. Paint on the layer, please. Jeez. It's not locked. It's not locked. Is that the problem? No. I just want to paint a color.
This mod be hating on you, Tech.
It's not the mod, it's Photoshop. It doesn't want me to get anything accomplished tonight. There. Okay, fine. It worked. We just gonna leave it like that and walk away from it before it acts up anymore. Save. PNG.
Right.
Turbo furnace. Boom. I created a picture with 16 by 16. I could have coded that in ones and zeros faster, I think. Okay, let's create a block state file for it, which is the next step. Block state. We're going off of the battery for block stuff. Where's the battery? Too many things in my mod. It's getting hard to find what I want. Oops. Battery. There's generator, fermenter, distiller, conduit.
Alright.
There it is, battery bank. Jeez. Battery bank, so furnace. DURBO. Finally get your sub, Fire.
Yes.
Heads don't have to roll.
Right.
Machine mod turbo furnace.
Besides, I didn't say heads were gonna roll, I said subs were gonna roll. Into my mouth.
How would it do that if it didn't get it, though? Okay.
They're subs.
Oh, you're gonna eat their side. Give me my food or I'm gonna eat yours.
I told you. I told them they got 5 minutes to get my sub here before I take a bite out of all of theirs.
I don't know why that didn't register before. I know you said it, but it didn't click. That's what you meant. Turbo furnace, come on. Where are you? Oh, I'm clicking right at it. It's parent block, and we're just done then. Like that. And blocks. What's it called? That should do it to it. Assembly table is going to be another good example of this, so I can check for the name of the textures. It is all. And it should be laid out like that. Machine mod. Blocks. Turbo furnace, yep. Oh, it's block cube all. Oh, we got a wavy line there. Must be a space or something? Yeah. Okay, and then we need one for the item version of it, which should be machine block. Battery bank. It's going to have this name right there. Let me say that. Okay. We're going to want a language file for it. Battery bank right there. No, that's the blueprints. Crap. Tile.machine mod machine battery bank. There it is. I'll just say turbo furnace turbo furnace like that. In the actual turbo furnace at the top, we said turbo furnace, and initialize the blocks. Go to the very top. Please, battery. Machine mod. TUR. Machine turbo. What? No. Is something not saved or what? Control Shift O. There we go. And the next place I need to go is down here. Copy both of those lines. Machine, turbo, blah blah blah. Bingo. And down here. Take that. Okay. Let's see if we have a block with that texture. It won't do nothing, but that's okay. Actually, it'll behave like the battery bank right now. It'll still power. eyeball. Still bother me. So Fiery, is the sub good? Was it worth the threatened sub-aside? What kind of sub is it? Where did you leave me? Ooh, turbo furnace. You look fancy.
Except for that one on the top.
Hey, quiet you. I knew I was going to do that. I purposely didn't make a texture at the top.
And the answer to your question is, yes, it was worth it. It was a meatball marinara.
Ooh.
And I had my mic muted so that you guys wouldn't hear me eat it.
Yeah, I figured that was the case. It needs more detail in that section on the texture if I did keep this. Or something. It doesn't look right. But it's a block.
Give it animation.
Right. Like, so if you do a furnace, normal one.
So smoke particle effects, and the burning animation.
Alright. You do coal. And let's say an ore of some type. I guess you wouldn't smell coal ore, that doesn't make any sense. So it does those animations.
Tech.
Quiet, you okay? Okay.
So it looks like a fire particle effect, a smoke particle effect.
Yeah. But only when it's on.
Right.
And it gives off light, of course.
Yeah.
Animation, or the block's texture actually changes. Look, there's an off state, and then there's this on state. So the off state is all black here, but it's red here. So if I look, furnace lit versus furnace, or lit furnace versus furnace. Lit furnace, furnace. Look over here.
Well, Tech, did you see the message?
Animations? Not like animations made in Blender, but general Blender stuff, yeah. So, Lost Wolf, if you've never seen how we get the models, the new models in, it's kind of a lot of work. I can't do the animations from Blender directly. I don't know how to pull them in. It'd be cool, but I just don't know how to make that work. Because what I'd actually do is I export from Blender to OBJ files or wavefront files. And that's what gets pulled into the code. Okay, so that's that piece of it. I think I'm gonna stick with the crashy photo, or not the crashy, the crappy Photoshop, and see if I can get a texture for this thing, like the GUI.
Alright.
So we want some type of input, some type of output, a spot to show that it's burning, a spot, an inventory slot for the fuel. What else? I think that's it.
don't forget the whatchamacallit for the Duo-Mahiki with the thingamabobber.
Which does what now?
I said, don't forget the whatchamacallit for the Duo-Mahiki with the thingamabobber.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just messing around.
Yeah, I know. So was I. So that's what I created for the fractional distillation tower. Which might have been a waste of my whole time. Whoop. 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 Smoke and mirrors. It's all just smoke and mirrors.
It was never here.
Right. You see nothing? Please tell me you know what I'm talking about, Fire.
I know nothing. Nothing.
Sounds like you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, come on, Tech. I'm older than you are, man. I got more. I get more than you do.
That's interesting. I've played Minecraft for how many years now? I've never noticed this before.
What?
You know, as I'm trying to lay this out, I'm thinking, okay, those 2 slots need to be there. I need another slot for the output. Oh, let me just copy this slot over here. And I looked at the vanilla furnace, and what do you see? About its output
3 slots.
About its output slot specifically, though.
Go fish.
This is almost exactly the same size as the item. This is way bigger than the item. I've never noticed that before.
Huh.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
I mean, look how much bigger it is than a normal slot. That makes me want to look at the crafting table and see if it's something about output slots. Yeah, it's way bigger too. Holy crap! I've been living a lie my whole life, thinking those were the same.
Mind officially
blown. Huh. Why would they? Why? Unless it's to designate that it's an output slot somehow. You don't get a okay, so... yeah, difficulty to peaceful first, please. Game mode... 0. The normal one in your inventory is smaller. Huh. Well, I've learned something new for the day. I don't know that I like it, but that's how it is. Merge them layers.
I mean, just because vanilla does it doesn't mean you have to.
Right, and I'm not going to. I just thought it was very odd. I've got just a gray colored arrow and then the flamies. Yes, that's the technical term for them, the flamies. And if I remember right, like the flame filling up is such a trick. It's not actually 3 individual flames, it's a square, and they draw the picture of the gray background over top of it, so it's like you're seeing a cutout of the flames, and they just shrink the height of that bar basically as it goes down. And the same thing with the white thing as it fills across. It's actually a square that they're filling across, and then they're overlaying the cutout of the arrow there. So it looks like it's filling up an arrow, which would be like really complicated to code. Okay, it needs to be this high at this spot, this high at this spot, and, you know, then narrow it down as it gets to the point. They just fill a square and then draw something over top of it from Photoshop or whatever. So I need to do the same or similar for what I want to do, which means I need a picture of a flame that's gray and transparent background, and then fill it in with this color.
Wouldn't you just snag the one off of the furnace?
Maybe.
Yep. There's my one idea for the stream. My quota's been met.
Going to bed.
Good night, everybody.
See you tomorrow. I could in Photoshop tell me the size of what I'm selecting. Some little like status bar or something. I'll have to count pixels in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's a 16 by 16 basically. Okay. How do I want to do this? New layer maybe? New image. 16 by 16. Flame cutout. And it needs to be in data color. And we erase out the flame area.
Pretty good flame there, Tech.
Thank you, Fairy. No. Till my brain took over and started making it look better, and then it came out worse.
I should have just kept my mouth shut.
That'll do. Yeah, unselect everything. There we go. And I can't copy and paste that, but because it's a cutout, crap. Unless I Control-Shift-I, and then delete all that, and then Control-Shift-I, copy that, and then paste that. There we go.
Slide the middle one over to the left 1 block.
I love the stream delay. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Hey, great minds think alike. I mean,
yeah. And then, is there any way I can like? This is asking a lot, probably.
What color?
The color will come on a different layer altogether. And then if I do that, and where's the bottom? That way they aren't all uniform and the same exactly.
Right.
When they're shrunk down to like actual size, which is that big, you can't even see it. Let's save this. Flame cutout under GUI. Yep. Texture PNG. And then we need to do it one more. That is a new 16 by 16 turbo furnace flame. Right, and then we just zoom in 6 trillion times. This Photoshop is being slow. Fill with the base color. Pick some accent colors. Pick another one. Wow, it is really being slow, seriously. Let me close out Minecraft just in case that's causing it. Pick another color. And another color. That's the same color. Okay, and then this, basically when it's all said and done, would be overlaid like that, and that's what the full flame would look like. And if I do this, where is it?
That's totally cool.
I guess select all. Copy merged. That whole thing would get pasted in by the code like that inside the GUI. And the flame part of it would go down, but the black or grayish background would show through then at that point. Delete you. There we go. So it's 3 layers. The overall background, which has gray, the flames, which would be proportional to how much is left, and then the gray cutout, this piece right here, this piece on top of it. Save. Save. Okay, so next, Turbo Furnace is currently creating a tile entity called Battery Bank, which is completely wrong. Turbo Furnace. We're going to copy that name, paste it over here in my little scratch pad that I've got, and go to tile entities down here, find the battery bank, copy paste, put in that name I just put on my scratch pad. There we go, Turbo Furnace. Turbo Furnace gets created. It's not going to extend energy or any of that storage stuff. It's not going to have any of these capabilities. It will implement tickable. Does not need this update method like this, or transfer power. Does need to save its MBT data, but not that portion of it or this portion of it. Boom, done. Basic tile entity. Now we need to register the tile entity inside the blocks code, I think it is. Tile. Register tile entity, there we go. So we say conduit, put it in this turbo furnace, turbo furnace, bingo bingo. Come back here, space save. There we go. So now the furnace will do that. On block placed, sure. Properties for the direction. Metal sound, sure. What else?
I don't know.
The GUI stuff. How fast can I do the GUI stuff? Because it's getting late.
I see that.
Fermenter has a GUI code right there. On block activate. Turbo furnace, paste you in here. GUI. F3. Need to create another one of these somewhere. Getting a lot of GUIs. Dang. 19. 20 if you count the 0. TRBO for furnace. I'm getting more comfortable with doing GUIs, but I'll say they're not my favorite thing to do. They are stupid complex originally for what they do. Like the whole slot system that they have to have is backwards feeling. Turbo furnace. So we've got one slot. Yeah, I'm not gonna deal with the slots right now. There's no time for that. We'll have to come back and put the slots in the right spot. This fermenter stuff is messed up though, so it's not a tile entity fermenter, it's a tile entity furnace. Entity, turbo, furnace, Shift R, turbo, furnace. Turbo furnace, turbo furnace, turbo furnace, turbo furnace, turbo furnace, turbo furnace. There is no get or set field on a turbo furnace, so that's going to error off right now. URBO. Need to add the get and set fields. F3. F3. Oh, and it needs to be a high inventory also. I cited inventory. This is gonna make me put a whole bunch of methods in once it actually figures out. Yep, they're there. Crap. What else is I cited inventory? This screen, maybe? No. There's still a crate. Crate is cited, I think. There we go. Stack and slot. Item stack. Remove stack from slot. Set slot contents. Get that. Usable by player. Open inventory. Close inventory is valid slot. Get field count. Clear. Custom name. Get slot for face. Can insert. Extract. Basically all of that code needs to be copied over. Bingo. You still hate me for the size item? No. You do, but it's probably for another reason. Let's see what else there is. Add stack. Remove stack. It's not an override, so I think that's something I added different. Update, signal, okay. Right, that's the crate doing that. So we need the inventory, stack, protected, there we go. And inventory size. What's this? So I need to put that in the constructor for the thing. We need to add a constructor. Source. Constructor using fields. No field. So I'll override you to do this instead. Inventory size. Why am I not seeing that field? There it is. That goes there. This goes down below. Inventory size. We don't need those comments on that because it'll just confuse me later. We need one slot for input, one slot for fuel, and one slot for
I'm gonna take off.
Okay, fine. Good night, man.
Yep. Night, everybody.
Should send inventory updates. True. I'm gonna put that in there, but I don't think we need it completely. If I remember right, it's not needed. Okay, get rid of a bunch of errors. What's down here? Held item. So we're just going to return true for can insert for now. To do modify later. To do modify me later, please. Get rid of all the airs down there. This is still in air though. Why? What'd you add? Is empty? Seriously? That's a thing. Okay, fair enough. You save now. You should save. Once you're done compiling, then that means that this probably should no longer air off. Yep, and it's good here. So the container's brilliant. It needs updated a little bit later, but that's okay. Tyler, why is this taking so long to compile everything? There we go. Then we've got one more place in here that we actually add the GUI code. So this is going to base on the fermenter again. So place this in, and this is turbo furnace. We're close, guys. I might be able to do this yet tonight. I have something that we can look at. Turbo furnace here. And this doesn't take tile entity that. It's the turbo furnace one. This is a turbo furnace. Turbo furnace. Turbo furnace. It's there. Oh, crap. There. And it's container turbo furnace. Just control space on that. Yes, continue, please. Continue. You're gonna air off on me. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so put the word turbo furnace there. And it's not the loader PG, it is, what's it called? Oh, did I ever write the fractional distillation tower? That would stink. Inside Photoshop here on my other screen, I might have overwritten it. Oh good, I never saved it. turbo furnace PNG. turbo FURNAC. We really don't need this. It's a turbo furnace, not a fermenter. That should be it for that piece. Then we need the handler for the GUI. GUI handler. And we gotta do two sections of code. One is gonna be the server side, which is here. And if we just take the, where is it? Fermenter. Everything between the else statements. Just like that. And we say GUI. It's called turbo furnace. Please. Tiny turbo furnace, and we say turbo furnace here. Boom, and here we do turbo furnace as well. Okay. So what that's doing is it's creating the container on the server side for that turbo furnace. GUI fermenter is mentioned down here. On this is the client side of things. So on the client, we don't create the container. Instead, we create the actual GUI object. So turbo furnace. turbo furnace. Let's just copy and paste that to there. Copy and paste that piece to here. Hit save. Let it compile for 5 minutes because my computer's being a little slower than normal. Go to the turbo furnace itself. We're calling the GUI fermenter in the turbo furnace. So let's change this now that we've got the right code. Turbo furnace. And we should be good. And the fermenter itself is here. I want to make sure I didn't accidentally update that to say turbo furnace, and I did. Nice catch. Fermenter. Save. Let's take a quick look at what all we changed. Turbo furnace handler, turbo furnace reference rock. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, let's run this once. Then I gotta go, guys. So what'll happen is we should be able to right click on it and open up and see this type of interface. Like this, it will not have the flames on it yet. That's something I'm gonna have to do for another night because I'm running out of time here, guys. But that's the idea right there. Proof of concept. Right click and crash. I've never tried it. Not looked into it at all. Somebody was telling me about it once, but I haven't gotten into it at all. So we're doing some slot stuff, containers, NG turbo furnace. I think I know what's up. We're trying to add a slot that doesn't exist somewhere. Alright, so if I look at the GUI or it's probably the container code. Let's take a look at that. Turbo furnace, and it's gonna be in the very first section. Yep. We want like S3, that'll work. Just bear with me. Add 9 there, and then another 9 added there. That might be the hotbar? No, that's bind player's inventory. What am I doing? It's this one I want to change. This needs to be 3. No, 2. 1, 2, no, 3. They won't be in the right spots on the screen, but they'll be valid still. So we need to actually close Minecraft out. It's kind of the server crashed, but the client didn't. That's what happens when, that's what results in that, where your screen's kind of all funky. This client's trying to talk to server can't. They use a form of Python, I believe it is. I believe it is. I'm going to be trying to create Skyrim-like game on it, but definitely could use another scripter. I've never even played Skyrim. And I've done a very, very little bit of Python because I was trying to do Google App Engine at one time. I'm missing out. But it's another game for me to play that distracts me from doing things like modding. I've heard it's a good game. So there we go. There's our GUI. There's going to be 3 slots on it. They aren't in the right spots. I know that. We'll move, you know, that one to there, and this one to there, or down here, I guess, and then this one over here. That's fine. We're good for now. That's got to be it, unfortunately, for tonight. So we'll get the flame and the inventory slots in the right spot. That's actually kind of easy. It's just twiddling with the numbers to get them there. Yeah. Okay. So, good night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.